A hug can feel friendly, or it can light a fuse the moment you let go. Folks, let's be real. Most men hug like they're trying not to offend anybody. Quick squeeze, awkward pat, you pull back fast, and she forgets it 5 minutes later. Then you wonder why the chemistry never sticks. Or worse, you get one good moment and you rush it and she suddenly goes cold. My friend, I'm not here to comfort you. I'm here to wake you up. The way you hold a woman for 2 seconds can say more than 100 texts. This isn't about being handsy or crossing lines. It's about calm, respectful leadership and the tiny details that her nervous system reads as safe, masculine, and intimate. Timing, pressure, where your hands rest, how long you stay, and the most important part, how you release. In this video, I'm going to show you the Stoic approach to touch, controlled, intentional, and never needy. You'll learn why most hugs kill tension, how to create a charged hug without saying anything, and the one mistake that turns a warm moment into instant discomfort. Stick with me to the end, because the final step is what makes her replay that hug later alone and wonder why she wants another one. Subscribe now, folks. We train calm power, not cheap tricks. Let's get into it. Number 1. Why most hugs feel forgettable. Folks, let's be real. Most hugs disappear because they are empty of intention. They are rushed, automatic, and emotionally neutral. A forgettable hug feels like a social obligation, not a moment. Her nervous system reads it as friendly, safe, and done. Nothing wrong with that, but nothing memorable either. A hug becomes forgettable the moment it carries hesitation. Men step in, wrap lightly, pat the back, and pull away fast. That pattern signals uncertainty. Uncertainty removes tension, and without tension, there is nothing for her body or mind to hold on to later. Here's a real situation. Chris is 52 from Portland. He meets Dana, 46, after a few relaxed dates. When they greet each other, Chris leans in quickly, gives a light squeeze and steps back. Dana smiles, but the moment ends instantly. Later that night, she remembers the conversation, not the hug. It left no imprint. Now contrast that with another moment. Eric is 58 from Santa Monica. He meets Michelle, 50, outside a quiet restaurant. When they hug, Eric stands still first. He lets her step in. His arms close, calmly, not tight, not loose. He breathes, holds for a steady beat, then releases without rushing. Michelle feels grounded and oddly warm after they separate. On the drive home, that hug keeps replaying. Same action, different presence. The difference is not strength or boldness, it is control. A forgettable hug is driven by anxiety. A memorable hug is driven by calm. Her nervous system notices the difference immediately. Stoicism teaches that power begins with self-command. Marcus Aurelius reminded us to act with purpose, not impulse. When you hug impulsively, you rush the moment. When you hug with purpose, you create a signal. That signal says you are present, grounded, and comfortable, leading the moment. Most men also misunderstand pressure. They either avoid it completely or apply it awkwardly. A forgettable hug has no pressure at all. It feels like air. Pressure does not mean force. It means certainty. Her body responds to certainty because it feels safe and masculine at the same time. Another common mistake is speed. Speed kills sensation. When you rush in and rush out, the nervous system never settles. Sensation needs a second to register. When you allow that second, the body stores the feeling. Let's be honest. Many men hug to get it over with. They worry about boundaries, rejection, or doing it wrong. That fear leaks through the body. She may not think it consciously, but she feels it. Seneca warned that anxiety weakens presence. When you remove anxiety from the hug, it becomes grounding. Grounding moments are remembered because they contrast with the noise of everyday interactions. A forgettable hug also lacks stillness. Stillness is leadership. When you stand still and let the moment form, you communicate confidence without words. That stillness invites her body to relax and open, not brace and move on. If you want hugs to stop being forgettable, stop hugging to perform. Hug to connect. Slow down. Be deliberate. Let the moment breathe. If this resonates, write "I hug" with intention in the comments. Stick with me, because this is just the beginning. Stay with me, because next, we break down the exact kind of hug that feels different the instant it happens. Number 2. The hug that feels different instantly. Folks, let's be real. The hug that feels different does not rely on technique. It relies on state. Two people can perform the same physical motion and create completely different reactions. What her body responds to instantly is not what you do, but how grounded you are while doing it. Most hugs feel neutral because the man enters the moment mentally scattered. He is thinking about timing rules or how it might be perceived. That mental noise leaks into his body. Her nervous system reads it as uncertainty. Uncertainty removes charge. The hug becomes polite, brief, and forgettable. The hug that feels different begins before contact. It starts with stillness. You are standing fully present, shoulders relaxed, breathing steady. You are not leaning in to take. You are allowing the moment to come to you. That pause alone shifts the dynamic. It signals calm leadership. Stoicism emphasizes this internal order. Marcus Aurelius wrote that nothing has such power over the soul as the ability to remain composed. When you are composed, your body communicates safety and confidence without effort. Safety allows her body to relax. Relaxation allows sensation to deepen. Another key difference is entry. You do not rush into the hug. Rushing triggers reflex. When you enter slowly and deliberately, her body has time to register you. Time is essential for sensation. Sensation is what makes the hug feel different immediately. Then comes pressure, not force. Pressure is consistency. Even calm contact that says you are fully there. When pressure is inconsistent, too light or too uncertain, the nervous system stays alert. When pressure is steady, the nervous system settles. That settling feels intimate without being invasive. Epictetus taught that we should act from intention, not impulse. Impulsive hugs are quick and nervous. Intentional hugs are measured and calm. That intention is felt as control, not dominance. Control over yourself is what creates attraction. Breathing also matters. Shallow breathing signals tension. Deep, relaxed breathing signals presence. When your breathing stays slow during the hug, her body mirrors it subconsciously. This synchronization is why the hug feels grounding instead of awkward. Silence is another factor. The hug that feels different is quiet. No nervous chatter. No filler words. Seneca warned that excess speech weakens impact. Silence allows the body to speak. The body always speaks louder than words in moments of touch. Another subtle element is release. You do not linger out of need, and you do not pull away abruptly. You release smoothly, as if you are choosing to end the moment, not escaping it. That controlled release leaves an after sensation. After sensations are remembered. This hug stands out because it contrasts with most interactions. Most people rush, talk, and fidget. When you remain still, calm, and deliberate, her body notices immediately. Contrast creates memory. Let's be honest, this has nothing to do with being aggressive or sexual. It has everything to do with being regulated. A regulated man creates regulated moments. Regulated moments feel rare, and rarity creates desire. Stoicism teaches mastery of self as the highest form of power. When you master your internal state, your physical presence changes. That change is felt instantly in moments like a hug. If you want hugs to feel different, stop thinking about technique. Focus on stillness, breathing, and intention. Let your calm do the work. If this resonates, write "I lead calmly" in the comments. Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because next we break down how slow pressure quietly changes everything. Number 3. Slow pressure changes everything. Folks, let's be honest. Pressure is not the enemy. Speed is. What makes a hug forgettable or electric is not how strong it is, but how slow it settles in. Slow pressure tells her nervous system that you are calm, certain, and fully present. Fast pressure tells her you are nervous and trying to get out of the moment. Most men rush contact because they are afraid of lingering. They squeeze quickly, release quickly, and hope that was enough. It rarely is. The body needs time to register sensation. Without that time, nothing sinks in. Here is a real example. Mark is 55 from San Diego. He has been seeing Lisa, 48, for a few weeks. When they meet outside her place, Mark hugs her quickly, gives a light squeeze and pulls away. Lisa feels safe, but unmoved. The hug barely registers before it ends. Now compare that to another situation. Andrew is 59 from Marin County. He meets Karen, 52, after dinner. When they hug, Andrew lets his arms close slowly, not grabbing, not hesitating, just steady contact that builds over a second. He holds the pressure evenly, breathes, and stays still. Karen feels her shoulders drop without realizing it. When they separate, there is a warmth that stays. Later that night, she thinks about that hug without knowing why. The difference is slow pressure. Slow pressure allows the nervous system to relax instead of brace. When the body relaxes, sensation deepens. Deep sensation is remembered. Here is another example. Paul is 61 from Santa Fe. He hugs Michelle, 50, at the end of a gallery opening. Instead of tightening immediately, Paul lets his hands settle first, then applies gentle, consistent pressure. Michelle feels grounded and held, not rushed or crowded. That grounding feels intimate because it feels intentional. Stoicism supports this idea directly. Marcus Aurelius wrote about acting without haste and without delay. Slow pressure is exactly that. No rush, no hesitation, just controlled presence. Control over yourself is what her body reads as masculine. Let's be clear. Slow pressure is not force. It is certainty. Force triggers resistance. Certainty triggers trust. Trust allows desire to open instead of closing. When pressure is applied calmly and evenly, her body feels safe enough to stay in the moment. Most men apply pressure unevenly. They squeeze hard for a split second, then let go. That inconsistency signals anxiety. Her body notices, even if her mind does not. Consistency is what changes everything. Breathing plays a role here too. Shallow breathing during contact signals tension. Slow breathing tells her body that nothing is being rushed. Her nervous system mirrors yours. When you slow down, she slows down. Another mistake men make is adding movement. Rocking, patting, shifting. Movement breaks sensation. Stillness allows sensation to concentrate. Seneca warned that restlessness weakens presence. Still pressure strengthens it. Slow pressure also creates a subtle contrast. Most hugs in her life are quick and polite. When yours is slower and grounded, it stands out immediately. Contrast is what makes a moment memorable. If you want your hugs to change how she feels about you, slow everything down. Enter calmly. Apply pressure gradually. Hold evenly. Release smoothly. Let the moment finish on its own. If this hits home, comment and write, "I move slower." Stick with me, because this is just the beginning. Stay with me, because next, we break down where your hands actually matter more than you think. Number 4. Where your hands actually matter. Folks, let's be real. Where your hands rest during a hug communicates more than the hug itself. Hands are not just physical placement, they are signals. signals of intention, confidence, and self-control. Most men place their hands without awareness, and that randomness is exactly why the moment feels flat. The nervous system reads location before pressure. Hands placed too high feel hesitant. Too low feels intrusive. Floating hands feel unsure. The body responds best to placement that feels grounded and deliberate. Deliberate placement tells her you are present and regulated. Stoicism speaks directly to this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that every action should be purposeful. Purpose removes doubt. When your hands move with purpose, her body relaxes because it knows what is happening. Relaxation is where sensation deepens. Hands matter most because they frame the hug. They define whether the moment feels friendly or charged. A grounded frame is calm, steady, and still. It does not search, it does not fidget, it simply holds the space. Most forgettable hugs involve hands that hover, pat, or adjust mid-hug. That movement breaks connection. Movement signals uncertainty. Uncertainty interrupts sensation. Seneca warned that restlessness weakens authority. Stillness strengthens it. The most effective placement is where your hands can rest naturally without tension. This allows pressure to remain even and calm. Even pressure communicates safety. Safety allows desire to stay open instead of closing. Another important point is symmetry. When both hands are placed evenly, the hug feels balanced. Balance tells the nervous system that nothing is being forced. Forced moments trigger resistance. Balanced moments invite trust. Epictetus taught that strength comes from governing yourself. When you govern your hands, you govern the moment. You are not reacting, you are choosing. Choice carries weight. Weight creates presence. Hands also matter because they influence posture. Proper placement encourages an upright, relaxed stance. Slouching or leaning in too much shifts power away from you. Upright, calm posture signals leadership without dominance. Let's be honest. Many men overthink technique and underthink awareness. Awareness is what matters. When you are aware of where your hands are and why your body moves with clarity, clarity feels masculine because it removes confusion. Another mistake is gripping. Gripping signals fear of losing the moment. Desire fades when fear appears. A relaxed hold signals confidence. Confidence allows the moment to breathe. Stoicism emphasizes moderation. Moderation in touch creates contrast. When your hands rest calmly and do not wander, the hug feels intentional. Intention is remembered. Hands also communicate boundaries. Respecting boundaries builds trust. Trust does not kill attraction. It stabilizes it. Stable attraction lasts longer than momentary excitement. This is not about copying a position. It is about embodying calm authority. Authority without force. Authority without rush. Musonius Rufus taught that character reveals itself through action. Where your hands rest reveals your character in that moment. If you want to master this at a deeper level and understand how to apply it naturally without overthinking, this is exactly what we train inside the members area. There we break these moments down so they become instinctive, not mechanical. Consider joining if you want consistency instead of guesswork. If this resonates, write "I lead with intention" in the comments. Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because next we break down the pause that quietly triggers craving without you doing anything extra. Number 5. The pause that triggers craving. Folks, let's be honest. The pause after a hug is where attraction either deepens or dies. Most men rush this moment because silence makes them uncomfortable. They talk, step back fast, or break eye contact. That urgency drains tension. The pause, when held calmly, keeps her nervous system engaged and searching for more. Craving is not created by action alone. It is created by what you allow to linger. When a hug ends and you immediately fill the space, her body closes the experience. When you pause even briefly, her body stays open. That openness feels unfinished, and unfinished moments replay. Take a real example. David is 56, living in Denver. He has been seeing Rachel, 47, for a month. After dinner, they hug outside her car. David releases slowly and stays still for one quiet breath. He does not speak. Rachel feels a subtle pull in her chest. When he finally steps back, the moment feels incomplete in a good way. On her drive home, that pause keeps resurfacing. Now compare that with Tom, 53, from Phoenix, dating Melissa, 45. They hug goodbye, and Tom instantly says something cheerful and steps back. Melissa smiles, but the feeling ends immediately. Nothing follows her home. Same hug, different ending. The pause works because the nervous system needs time to process sensation. Stoicism understands this deeply. Marcus Aurelius wrote about resisting impulse and allowing space between stimulus and response. The pause is that space. It shows restraint. Restraint feels powerful because it shows you are not chasing relief. Another example. Brian is 61, from Santa Barbara, walking with Linda, 52. They hug near the beach. Brian releases, holds eye contact, and stays relaxed for a second before stepping away. Linda later realizes that second made her feel unexpectedly close. Nothing was said. That silence did the work. Most men fear the pause because they want certainty. They want to lock things in. But desire grows in uncertainty. Seneca warned that constant reassurance weakens authority. A man comfortable in silence signals emotional independence. The pause also prevents emotional leakage. When you rush to speak, you reveal nervous energy. When you pause, you reveal control. Control over yourself is what her body reads as masculine. This pause is not staring. It is not looming. It is simply remaining present. Your posture stays open. Your breathing stays slow. You allow the moment to finish on its own terms. Another situation. Kevin is 58, from Seattle, seeing Angela, 50. At the end of a date, Kevin hugs her, releases, and pauses with a calm smile. Angela later catches herself smiling alone. That pause created a feeling without explanation. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from mastery of reaction. The urge to fill silence is a reaction. Mastering it changes the dynamic instantly. If you want hugs to create craving, let the pause exist. Do not escape it. Let her nervous system finish the moment. If this resonates, write "I allow silence" in the comments. Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because next we break down why calm touch feels unmistakably masculine and changes how she sees you. Number 6. Why calm touch feels masculine. Folks, let's be clear. Calm touch feels masculine because it signals control, not hunger. Most men think masculinity in touch comes from firmness or intensity. It doesn't. It comes from regulation. A regulated man does not rush. He does not grab. He does not need to prove anything. His calm tells her body that he is grounded, safe, and strong all at once. The nervous system responds to stability before it responds to excitement. When touch is calm, her body relaxes instead of bracing. Relaxation allows sensation to travel deeper. This is why calm touch feels more intimate than aggressive touch. Aggression creates alertness. Calm creates openness. Stoicism explains this perfectly. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that true power comes from ruling oneself. When you rule your internal state, your external actions carry weight. Calm touch is the physical expression of inner order. It says, you are not driven by impulse. You are choosing the moment. Most men confuse calm with weak. That misunderstanding costs them attraction. Calm is not passive. Calm is deliberate. Deliberate touch communicates confidence because it shows you are comfortable in your own body. Comfort is contagious. Her body mirrors it without conscious thought. Another reason calm touch feels masculine is predictability. Not boring predictability, but emotional consistency. When your touch is steady, her nervous system knows what to expect. Predictability lowers anxiety. Lower anxiety increases receptivity. Receptivity is where desire grows. Epictetus taught that we suffer when we react instead of respond. Reactive touch is jerky, rushed, inconsistent. Responsive touch is smooth and measured. That difference is felt immediately. One creates tension in the wrong direction. The other creates tension that pulls her closer. Calm touch also communicates boundaries. Boundaries are attractive because they signal self-respect. When you respect your own boundaries, her body trusts you more. Trust does not kill desire, it stabilizes it. Stable desire lasts. Silence plays a role here too. Calm touch often comes with quiet. No nervous laughter, no over-explanation. Seneca warned that excess weakens impact. Touch, like words, gains power when used sparingly. When touch is calm and unaccompanied by noise, it speaks clearly. Another layer is rhythm. Calm touch has a slow, even rhythm. Fast rhythm excites briefly but fades quickly. Slow rhythm sinks in. The body remembers what sinks in. This is why she may not be able to explain why she felt something, only that she did. Stoicism emphasizes harmony with nature. The body responds best to what feels natural and unforced. Calm touch aligns with this principle. It feels organic, not performed. Performance creates distance. Authentic presence creates connection. Let's be real. Masculinity is not about taking. It is about holding space. Calm touch holds space. It allows her to feel without being pushed. That allowance feels rare in a world full of pressure. If you want your touch to feel masculine, stop trying to impress. Start regulating. Breathe slower. Move with intention. Let stillness do the work. If this resonates, comment, "I stay grounded." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because next we break down why letting go at the right moment makes her want to lean back in. Number 7. Letting go is part of desire. Folks, let's be honest with each other. Desire does not grow when you cling. It grows when you know exactly when to let go. Most men believe holding on longer creates impact. In reality, holding on too long tells her nervous system that you are afraid the moment will disappear. Fear weakens attraction. Control strengthens it. Letting go is not rejection. It is leadership. When you release at the right moment, you show that you are complete, whether the moment continues or ends. That emotional independence is felt instantly. She may not think it consciously, but her body registers it as strength. Here's a real situation. Brian is 56 from San Jose. He's been seeing Nicole, 48, for a few weeks. When they hug goodbye, Brian stays calm, holds steady pressure, and then releases just as the moment settles. He does not rush. He does not linger. Nicole feels a small drop in her stomach when he lets go. That drop is desire responding to absence. Later that night, she catches herself, replaying the hug and wondering why it felt so intense. Now compare that with another example. Mark is 54 from Orlando, dating Rachel, 46. Mark hugs Rachel and keeps holding past the peak. He adds extra pressure, sways slightly, and delays the release. Rachel's body starts to tighten. What began as warmth turns into the urge to step back. Desire closes because the moment overstayed its welcome. The difference is timing. Desire needs a clean ending to form a memory. When you let go at the right moment, her nervous system finishes the experience on its own. When you hold on too long, you interrupt that process. Stoicism explains this clearly. Marcus Aurelius taught that wisdom includes knowing when an action has reached its natural conclusion. Forcing what should end creates resistance. Ending with calm creates respect. Respect deepens attraction. Another example. Thomas is 61 from Monterey. He hugs Elaine, 53, after a long walk by the water. Thomas releases first calmly and takes a small step back. Elaine feels a brief sense of loss followed by warmth. That contrast stays with her. The hug ends, but the feeling does not. Let's be real. Most men fear letting go because they confuse it with losing control. It is the opposite. Letting go is control. It shows that you trust the moment landed. Trust is powerful because it removes need. Letting go also preserves mystery. Mystery is not created by tricks. It is created by restraint. Seneca warned that excess dulls desire. When you stop at the right time, you leave space. Space invites imagination. Imagination fuels longing far more than prolonged contact ever could. There is also respect in letting go. You respect her body's response instead of trying to extract more. That respect communicates maturity. Maturity feels rare, especially to a woman who has experienced men who push, linger, or hesitate. Another situation. Robert is 59 from Santa Rosa, seeing Angela, 50. Robert hugs her, releases cleanly, smiles, and wishes her a good night without rushing or hovering. Angela later realizes that what stayed with her was not the hug itself, but how confidently he ended it. Desire grows when a moment ends cleanly. Clean endings create emotional echo. Emotional echo is what keeps you in her thoughts. If you want desire to deepen, stop trying to squeeze more out of the moment. End it with calm. End it on your terms. That ending is what she remembers. If this resonates, write "I know when" in the comments. Stick with me, because this is just the beginning. Stay with me, because next, we break down the energy she feels long after you release. Number 8. The energy she feels after you release. Folks, let's be real. What she feels most is not the hug itself, but the energy you leave behind after you release. That lingering energy is what follows her home. Most men think attraction ends when contact ends. In truth, that is where it actually begins. When you release calmly without urgency or explanation, you create contrast. Her body goes from contact to absence, and that shift wakes up awareness. Awareness turns into sensation. Sensation turns into memory. Memory is what keeps you in her thoughts. Stoicism teaches us that influence does not come from force, but from alignment. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the strongest man is the one who remains steady when the moment passes. When you release and stay composed, you show that you are not dependent on the interaction. Independence feels powerful because it removes pressure. The energy she feels after you release is shaped by how you exit the moment. If you rush away, her nervous system reads avoidance. If you linger anxiously, it reads need. Both collapse desire. A clean release communicates completion. Completion creates space. Space invites reflection. Epictetus spoke about mastering what is within your control and letting go of what is not. The release is exactly that. You let go without grasping for outcome. That emotional discipline leaves a signature. She may not label it, but she feels it as depth. Another reason this energy matters is emotional containment. When you stay grounded after release, you contain your energy instead of spilling it. Contained energy feels calm and masculine. Spilled energy feels nervous and unpredictable. Predictability lowers attraction. Containment increases it. Silence after release plays a critical role. You do not fill the air with reassurance. You do not ask how it felt. Seneca warned that over-explanation weakens authority. Silence allows her nervous system to complete the experience on its own. When the body completes something internally, it remembers it more vividly. This lingering energy also comes from posture and presence. You remain upright, relaxed, and unhurried. Your body says the moment mattered, but it did not define you. That balance creates intrigue. Intrigue is desire without effort. Stoicism emphasizes harmony with nature. In nature, nothing clings. Everything moves, pauses, and moves again. When you release naturally and remain centered, her body recognizes that rhythm. It feels familiar and safe, yet rare in human interaction. Another layer is emotional pacing. Desire builds when emotions are allowed to rise and settle without interference. If you interrupt that settling, you steal the afterglow. The afterglow is where imagination begins. Imagination is more powerful than touch. Many men try to create attraction by adding more words, more contact, more intensity. Stoicism teaches subtraction. Remove what is unnecessary. What remains carries weight. When you release and let the moment stand, you subtract noise. What remains is energy. This energy follows her because it is unresolved in a healthy way, not confusing, not chaotic, simply open-ended. Open-ended experiences invite return. Closed experiences are forgotten. If you want to be remembered, focus less on the hug and more on how you leave her nervous system afterward. Calm, steady, unattached. That is the energy she feels long after you release. If this resonates, write "I remain grounded" in the comments. Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because next we break down why some hugs stay in her memory longer than words ever could. Number 9. Why she remembers that one hug. Folks, let's be real. She doesn't remember every hug. She remembers one, and it's never because it was longer, tighter, or more dramatic. She remembers it because her nervous system marked it as different. That hug stood out because it hit a psychological contrast she didn't expect. Memory is created through emotional spikes and emotional gaps. Most hugs create neither. They are predictable. Predictable moments fade. The hug she remembers disrupted her internal rhythm just enough to register as meaningful. Here's a real example. Daniel is 57 from Boston. He's been seeing Claire, 49, casually. One evening after dinner, they hug goodbye. Daniel doesn't rush. He stays grounded, applies slow pressure, releases cleanly, and pauses without saying a word. Claire feels calm, then slightly unsettled, then warm. Days later, she realizes she can't stop thinking about that moment. Not because it was sexual, because it felt intentional. Compare that with another situation. Kevin is 55 from Dallas, dating Amanda, 46. Kevin hugs Amanda, tightly talks through the hug, laughs, and pats her back. Amanda feels friendly comfort. The next day, she barely remembers the hug at all. The difference is not chemistry, it's structure. The hug she remembers had a beginning, a peak, and a clean ending. The body remembers structure because structure creates narrative. Narrative creates memory. Stoicism teaches us that impressions shape perception. Marcus Aurelius wrote that what we allow to imprint on the soul defines our experience. A hug that imprints is one that allows her nervous system to fully register the moment without interruption. Another example. Stephen is 62 from Carmel. He hugs Natalie, 54, after a long walk. Stephen lets the hug settle, releases before it drags, and steps back calmly. Natalie later describes that hug as grounding. That word matters. Grounding sensations stay longer in memory because they contrast with emotional noise. She remembers that one hug because it created emotional ambiguity, not confusion. Ambiguity. Her body felt safe but curious, calm but alert. Those mixed signals force the mind to revisit the moment, to make sense of it. Seneca warned that excess dulls experience. When a hug is excessive, it overwhelms the senses and leaves nothing to process later. When a hug is restrained, the mind keeps working on it. That mental replay is desire's echo. Most men try to be memorable by adding intensity. The men who are remembered subtract. They remove rush, they remove need, they remove explanation. What remains has weight. Another situation. Paul is 59 from Santa Rosa, seeing Jennifer 51. Paul hugs, Jennifer releases, and simply says good night without urgency. Jennifer feels a quiet pull as he walks away. That pull follows her home. She replays the hug, not because she wants answers, but because it felt unfinished in the right way. The hug she remembers made her feel something after it ended. That is the key. Sensations that continue after contact become anchors in memory. Anchors shape attraction. Stoicism emphasizes knowing when enough is enough. Knowing when to stop is power. Power is remembered. If you want to be remembered, don't aim to impress. Aim to regulate. Calm presence, clean endings, and emotional space are what make one hug stand out among dozens. If this resonates, comment "I leave impact." Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Stay with me because next we bring everything together into the Stoic hug she can't shake. Number 10. The Stoic hug she can't shake. Folks, let's bring this together. The Stoic hug she can't shake is not a move, a trick, or a technique you perform. It's the natural outcome of a man who is internally ordered. When your inner state is steady, your physical presence becomes unmistakable. She doesn't just feel the hug, she feels you. Most men focus on what happens during contact. Stoicism asks a different question. Who are you before contact? The hug becomes powerful only when it reflects inner discipline. Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man's actions are shaped by the state of his soul. When the soul is calm, the body communicates authority without force. This hug is built on 3 layers working together: presence, restraint, and completion. Presence means you are fully there, not thinking ahead or seeking validation. Restraint means you do not overextend the moment. Completion means you end it cleanly without clinging or apology. The Stoic hug feels different because it has weight without pressure. Your body is relaxed but intentional. Your breathing is slow. Your stance is grounded. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is exaggerated. That balance signals maturity. Maturity is deeply attractive because it feels rare. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from governing desire rather than being governed by it. In the hug, this shows up as emotional independence. You are not using touch to extract reassurance. You are offering a moment and letting it stand on its own. That offering feels generous, not needy. What makes this hug unforgettable is that it aligns with her nervous system instead of trying to overwhelm it. Calm presence regulates. Regulation creates safety. Safety allows desire to remain open rather than defensive. Defensive desire fades quickly. Open desire lingers. Another Stoic principle at work here is acceptance of impermanence. You accept that the moment will end. You do not fight that ending. Seneca warned that attachment to outcomes creates suffering. When you release without attachment, you show strength. Strength is remembered. This hug also carries clarity. There is no mixed message in your body. Your actions are congruent. Congruence builds trust. Trust deepens attraction because it removes internal conflict. When her body doesn't have to guess, it can feel. The Stoic hug is also quiet. Not silent in an awkward way, but unpolluted by unnecessary words. Words often dilute sensation. Stoicism teaches simplicity. Simplicity allows meaning to surface. In that quiet, her body finishes the experience internally. Internal completion creates memory. Importantly, this hug does not chase reaction. You don't look for signs. You don't ask how it felt. You let her experience belong to her. That emotional generosity is powerful. It shows you are complete either way. Completeness is magnetic. The final piece is how you move on afterward. You don't hover. You don't disappear abruptly. You remain composed. Your energy stays consistent. Consistency tells her the moment was real, not performative. Performances are forgotten. Reality stays. Stoicism is about alignment with nature. In nature, moments rise, peak, and pass. Nothing clings. When your hug follows that rhythm, her body recognizes it as natural and grounding. That recognition is why she keeps thinking about it. This is the Stoic hug she can't shake. Not because it demanded attention, but because it left space. Not because it took, but because it offered and released. Master your state, and the hug becomes inevitable. All right, folks, let's wrap this up. Today we broke down why most hugs are forgotten and how a calm, intentional presence can turn a simple moment into something she keeps feeling long after it ends. You learned how stillness, slow, pressure, clean pauses, and knowing when to let go all work together. Not as tricks, but as reflections of inner control. That's the Stoic way. Master yourself first, and attraction follows naturally. If you want to go deeper and learn how to make this kind of presence instinctive in every situation, consider joining the Members Program. That's where we train these principles step by step, so they become part of who you are, not something you have to think about. If this video helped you see things more clearly, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you for spending this time with me. I appreciate you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.